WrestleLogic and another edition of Pints Up or Down for WWE Raw and SmackDown for this week. Chris, the real deal, Mr. Sex Appeal Steele. I'm Paul, and we're going to go through, well, each of... You're something else, you know that?
Yes, I am.
So we're going to pick apart Raw, we're going to pick apart SmackDown, and we're going to kind of ignore Backlash because I don't even want to talk about it.
Wait, 1 second. I have to sport a new shirt. You've probably never even seen one like this before.
It's probably true.
Well, you have every shirt that they have from WWE, but do you have a Chris Steele shirt? The real deal.
All right, well, in my defense, I've actually asked him for a few, and he always tells me that I'll get you one. I'll get you one.
And I will.
Yeah.
Next week you'll have one.
Yeah, and then next week it'll be the week after that.
Whichever.
It's like there's a bar close by. There's always free beer tomorrow.
Yeah, hey, it depends on which week you watch this, because if they watch this a week from now, it would be the following week.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. All right. Well, anyway, once again, it's Pints Up or Down. We're picking apart Raw. We're picking apart SmackDown. And I'm just going to literally give you my quickest review of a pay-per-view ever. Backlash. Sorry, WWE.
That was lackluster.
You laid a turd with that one. All right, so Raw kicks off like it seemed. When will we finally have a wrestling show? Start with wrestling.
It depends on.
It's been a long time.
It's been a
long time. Whatever. So it started as it usually does.
Gotta tell a story somewhere.
I guess so. Kurt Angle comes out, starts talking about Money in the Bank, which actually I'm getting very excited for.
Yeah, and I love that pay-per-view.
Yep, it's one of my favorites. It's probably my second favorite after the Rumble, because I love the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
always
that's always
have.
a fun one.
Yep, that one. It probably goes Rumble, Money in the Bank, Mania for me personally. Ooh. I love them because it's like the Super Bowl. So it's just it's always so big. Very close to Survivor Series, except I wish they'd go back to doing more Survivor Series matches at Survivor Series instead of just the one.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to be there would be like 3 or 4 of them.
Well, this year they'll probably have women's, men's, midgets. You never know.
Little people.
Oh, sorry.
Little people.
Sorry.
Hornswoggle will come back again.
He'd come on the show.
Oh, yes, he could. Swogs, open invitation to come on to WrestleLogic. Eh?
We have a stool.
All right, well, see you in 3 years. Anyway, Angle comes out talking about Money in the Bank, getting people pumped up for it. Good little segment. And then, of course, Braun comes out wondering why he's not in any of the qualifying matches, which is a good question.
Yeah.
KO comes out, says that he cheated from that show which will not be named. It's gonna be the Voldemort of wrestling shows. It's the show that will not be named. And at valid point, because actually technically they did pin the non-legal man.
Right.
But either which way, so a match between Braun and Kevin Owens.
You know, I'd be interested to see Braun Strowman in the ladder match. Will the ladder hold him?
I think it will.
I think so,
I think it will.
Right.
He won the qualifying.
I'm interested to see.
Oh, you're just saying
yeah.
you're okay.
Yeah,
I
I'm excited to see that happen.
I will say this match, Kevin Owens really can make people look good.
He's been doing that since the independence when he's in PWG and stuff like that. So no surprise anymore. He's been in it for longer than, well, a lot of people have been in it, actually, that they don't know about. But recently, obviously, he's been in WWE, which is the big show, or the big stage, whatever you want to call it. But he's been wrestling a lot longer than that.
But yeah, got those shoulder tackles again. Oh my gosh! And that one Kevin Owens did a backflip. This is a big dude doing a backflip.
I can't even do a backflip because I don't trust myself.
Oh my gosh, he just made him look so good. And of course, Braun won, and he should have won.
Yep.
I mean, it was the right decision to make. I mean, because if he had not won, that would have taken all wind out of the sails after the greatest Royal Rumble. It would have been pointless.
Yep.
So I'm drinking to this one because a pint up to this. Great match. Both guys did a great job, and it's exciting. Oh, you're spilling the gold.
What are we having today? Is that Pool 6 from Island City?
The Pool 6 Pilsner from Island City. And if you're wondering what that means, it's because we are on the river, the Mississippi River. And when you talk about the barges, we are on Pool 6. That's what it's called.
So there's a dam here and then another dam here.
Watch your language. This is a family show.
Hey, I'm only talking about the dam where the barges go through.
Yes.
We're in Pool 6. So between 2 dams. That's why it's called that. Great beer.
All right, up next, just some selfies. some selfie videos because everyone wants to be part of the Money in the Bank.
Yep.
Which, you know what? I mean, they're good at moving things forward, but it's like they can't honestly have all these people in these Money in the Bank matches.
Right,
so it's kind of redundant, but whatever. You know, it's getting people fired up for it.
Yep.
Backstage segment that was a little bit weird. Goldust wants to be in the Money in the Bank and then interrupted by Jinder. Sometimes I just get really confused at what their thought process is and how they're piecing these bits together. But
I know it's almost like they're taking crooked puzzle pieces and putting them together and hoping that something will form of it.
Mashing them together, but whatever. And I mean, it was good to see Goldust on TV. We haven't seen him in a while. And I love Goldie. I've always liked Goldust. Back in the night, he took a little warming up too. The first couple of years. The first couple of years, it was like, what is this guy? But now that we're like used to him, I think he's great.
Hey, anything's okay in this day and age, as we've been noticing.
So finally, next match, very thrown together. It was Titus Worldwide and No Way Jose versus The Revival and Baron Corbin. I feel like it was like, okay, let's just get these guys on TV and get
Well,
them
to me, it's almost like it's just to build up Baron Corbin is what it looks like, and that just might be me. I really want to see Apollo do something. When Apollo first started, they had him going for, what was it, Intercontinental Championship, I believe it was, or it was the U.S., and it was against The Miz, I believe. And now all of a sudden he's just kind of slipping slowly. Titus, worldwide is what it is. I don't know how long it'll last. But I really wish that they would do something more with some of these young, talented people that they have there. I know Apollo Crews is talented. I've seen him. He trained at the same place that I trained at, WWA 4 down in Atlanta, Georgia. So I know what kind of talent he has. I wish they just let him use it instead of putting him in this gimmicky type thing. And I'm not drinking to this. I just wish they would do more. And even with No Way Jose, he's brand new. It's like they're not letting him do anything, and then he gets pinned.
They basically brought him up to be a glorified jobber.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, and once again, easily entertained. Like, when his entrance does make me smile, I know it's just a cop-out, but it makes me smile. It's fun, but I'm not drinking to it because I don't. It is, but I'm just, I don't understand what they're doing here. I think you're right. I think this is to try and push Baron, but it was a very confusing way to do it. Yeah. So no drink. Up next, triple threat qualifying match for the women to get the first person in the Money in the Bank match. When they announced this at the beginning of the show that this was happening, and I was actually really excited about it. With the exception, I feel like I'm being really hard on her lately, but Sasha Banks just does not do it for me in any way right now. But it made up for it with Ruby Riott, who I think is going to be champion level at some point very soon, and Ember Moon. The fact that they were in it, I can totally forgive Sasha Banks. And I just thought there was other people on the roster that would have been better choices, but I know they're still trying to figure out this Sasha Bailey thing. And
and they are. And I'm not going to drink to this, but you know what I am excited about is to see how they do in the Money in the Bank match. I'm excited because the girls took me by surprise on that Hell in a Cell, the first ever Hell in a Cell. Okay, now I'm
phenomenal match.
That was, and I was not expecting that. They blew me away with that. Now you're gonna we got the Money in the Bank with the women. I'm interested to see what they do because they are athletic. A lot of them are former gymnasts, so they can move better than most guys can. They may not take the biggest bumps, but they might do something really interesting and really acrobatic on the ladder. So I'm interested to see that, but I'm not going to drink to this segment this week.
I am going to drink to it, and I'm going to tell you why.
All right.
Because, and I even turned to my wife and I said, okay, for the video this week, I said, if Sasha wins, I ain't drinking. But if one of the other two win, I'm totally cool with it. So, and Ember Moon won with that. Oh, God, I love her finisher. It's basically like a flying Stone Cold Stunner.
You're right,
and the fact that she nailed both of them with it. I mean, basically she hits Ruby with it. Sasha hits the back of her head down on Ruby. It just looked awesome. So I'm drinking to it just because Ember won. Although her little backstage segment later was like a dad joke. She's like, I'm over the moon that I'm in but I'm still drinking to your match, Ember. I'll forgive you.
Just got to be gimmicky. That's what it is nowadays.
At least she's not. All right, up next. Now,
he sounds disappointed.
On any other day, I would say that Renee Young can do no wrong. I love Renee Young. I think she's one of the best interviewers that WWE has had in a long time. It's not bad to look at. No. Dean, you're a lucky man. But this whole thing with Bobby Lashley, this backstage interview, now I understand why they tried to do this because, and we had this discussion already, with a 10-year gap of him missing, there's a lot of people that have, they were expecting this, massive ovation when Bobby came back. There's a lot of people who have no clue who Bobby Lashley was when he returned.
Here's the thing, though. What they're doing with Bobby Lashley is just putting him in tag matches. Now, if you're going to put him as a tag team with Braun Strowman, holy crap, I think that'd be awesome. But I don't know if that's where they're going with this. But yes, you're right. It's like a 10-year gap. I mean, Trump wasn't even considered to be a presidential candidate. Now he's our president. The last time people remember this was probably WrestleMania 23 to see Bobby Lashley when Trump was shaving McMahon's head. So that might be the last impression that people have back in, 2007 was that?
Yeah, great WWE moment, though. I think that was fantastic. Right. But
do something with Bobby. Put him with Strowman.
Yeah.
That would be a one hell of a tag team.
I agree with that, but this segment, and it could have been fine, but the whole weird interview and his sisters beating him up when he was a kid and then ending with I love my sister. It was just, it was kind of cringy. When it got done, I was like, what did I just watch? So I sorry, Bobby. I don't know what they're planning to do with you, but don't ever do something like this again, please. Please.
It's all about the money.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
All right, KO and Sammy backstage talking about what's coming. Obviously, Kevin lost, but Sammy is in the triple threat that's been announced for the main event with him and Finn and Roman Reigns. Another match that I was very excited once they announced it. A lot of great workers, a lot of great talent in that ring.
Absolutely.
So just talking about, because they had some animosity after Backlash. Well, that's right. We're not speaking its name. The pay-per-view that shall not be named. And, of course, kind of making nice, but you could still feel that there was some tension there. So, good to keep moving the story forward. Not something I'm going to drink over, but I get why they did it. It worked. There were some answers that needed to be answered, and they did it. So
perfect.
Keeping the story moving, which I know you like because you're a story whore.
A story whore.
A story whore. That's right. That's how you referred to yourself last week. Next match, probably one of the most disappointing matches I've seen in a while. Why would you have a squash for Chad Gable? Why would you? And it's not just I'm not saying it because he's a Minnesota guy and he's my boy, but it just seems like they were trying to build something with Chad Gable, and then you have him basically get squashed by the probably second most hated guy in the WWE right now.
Right, yeah, and squash match doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If you're trying to build up Chad Gable, if you're just trying to have him as another glorified jobber, well, I guess you got one. But, I really like Jinder. I like Jinder. He plays a good role. His look is good now. People sometimes go, oh, he's gross looking. But you know what? Vince likes... No, Jinder.
Oh, Jinder, yeah.
But Vince likes a big guy. And he actually, he looks scary. His hair, his beard, everything makes him look aggressive, scary, and like a heel. But the match didn't do anything for me. It didn't make sense.
No, and
But, he was trying to... that backstage interview afterwards, he said, look what I did out there to Chad Gable, and he's trying to fight for his Money in the Bank spot. So it does make sense in that aspect, but do it against against somebody else. Yeah.
Else. Why Chad? There were so many other people they could have had him.
They should have brought, they should have just done like they did in the 90s. Just bring in a local jobber to squash. Remember they were doing that a year or two ago?
Yeah, but whatever.
Oh, well.
Whatever.
No
Poor
drink.
Chad. No, I'm not drinking.
I'm thirsty tonight.
Although, you know what? What I expected to happen, because backstage stuff, Jason Jordan has been cleared for a return.
Okay.
And although Kurt made the comment that he didn't bring Chad over to bring their team back together, I thought that would have been a decent little moment for his return. Because, and it was totally built that way, because afterwards, Jinder starts beating him up after the fact. I thought that would have been a great opportunity for, Jason Jordan to run out.
going to do when he comes back?
I know. I thought this would have been a perfect opportunity, and then there could have been some animosity between Chad and Jason, because Chad could have pulled the "I didn't need your help" thing, and then "I don't need you to carry me. I'm not teaming with you again. I don't need you." It could have been a fun. I think that could have been interesting.
And you make a good point there, because what's Jason Jordan going to do when he comes back? The Kurt Angle being his son kind of went.
That didn't
do anything, and that's like the best thing you could have done for anybody is say, hey, I'm Kurt Angle's son and play that angle, but that didn't really work out either. Everyone booed him so bad.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Ascension selfie video, which intrigued me because they were saying that they want to be in the Money in the Bank, but they're a tag team. So I'm very curious. I was curious about that, but then actually this morning, some news, some behind-the-stage news broke that there could possibly be a third Money in the Bank match added.
Tag teams?
For a tag team Money in the Bank.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
And so I'm wondering if this might have been like the sprinkling of the seeds that it might be coming.
Gosh, that would be interesting because then where does everybody stand? I mean, it's basically a free-for-all with singles, but then how are you going to tag someone in if everyone's brawling on the outside?
I think it would be a tornado tag.
Okay.
I think it would be like the fatal four-way at WrestleMania 33 where the Hardys came back. So it would just be everyone for like just going at it, and then the first person that can get up there to grab it.
I mean, that would work too.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting to see, and I think that would be really cool to see like a tag team cash in. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel both the tag divisions are kind of stagnant right now, so this could be an excellent way to.
Yeah, and I love tag team action because there's just so many more dynamics you can do with tag team. That's why I love Mom Squad that Big O, Todd Owens, and I have, which a lot of.
Todd O.
Big O.
Oh, sorry.
Drink into it?
I'm thirsty. You're right. I did that last week, and I shouldn't have. I need like a second one that I can drink because I'm thirsty. You know what? Fine. You know what? We'll be nice. Let's just drink to Todd. We're not putting this on. We're just going to drink to Todd.
Or the Mom Squad.
All right. Anyway, so I hope this happens with the tag division. I think this would be a great way to spruce it up a little bit, add a little new dynamic to it that hasn't been there. And with some new tag teams, we got the they weren't even on Raw this week. Authors of Pain. Brand new, and they weren't even on Raw. I was kind of surprised, but
that slipped my mind too.
Yeah, but anyway,
they were on the past 2 weeks at least, squashing people.
Yep, but not worth drinking over. Just a backstage thing. I don't like drinking to those. Although this next one I'm tempted to. And it's your boy, Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
But I was a little surprised. That was his hometown, and I thought he would have gotten a bigger pop when he appeared. But whatever. Either which way, I like Zack Ryder. I like he just demands attention.
I know.
You know,
he's got a good look. He's got a good look, and that's what it is.
And so it was good to see him and joking around a little bit with Kurt, and because then it was Dolph and Drew versus Rhino and Heath, and unfortunately, I feel that Rhino and Heath are just the jobber tag team now, which stinks because there's a lot of talent there. I always liked watching Rhino back when he was just brutal. You know, we have not seen a good old-fashioned gore in a long time, and that was always one of my favorite spears. Him and Goldberg, I always thought had the best spears. Edge, close third. Don't even get started on Roman.
I'm going to drink to this week because
absolutely.
now I finally am starting to see where they're going with this. And I was thinking to myself on Monday night, I'm like, hey, finally, I know what they're doing. They're going to be a tag team. That's what it's going to be, at least for the time being, because they are starting to work together. They had a win. Now we kind of understand. They had a little bit at their celebration at the end. You kind of show, Dolph counted the 1, 2, 3, and then they had kind of their own little celebration at the end. So to me, that's like, all right, we're forming a tag team.
Yep.
And I would love to see them in the tag division personally. So I'm drinking this one.
Yep, I am too. I always drink the Dolph.
Hell yeah.
Although, I'm still calling it the Zigmore. Until they come up with a name for it, I'm calling it the Zigmore.
WWE, it's called Zigmore.
It's called the Zigmore.
Yep.
That was a little stiff this week. Did you notice that?
Yeah, that did.
Heath, did you see Heath had a bloody nose?
Yeah, so you got him good.
Yeah, just careful, guys. Careful. It's a great looking move, but that was a little rough this week. Up next, Elias and Bobby Roode. Again, for the third week in a row now.
Yeah, and I still want to drink this just because I'm becoming a fan of Bobby Roode.
I've been a fan of Bobby Roode since he debuted, and
I haven't really known much about him because I didn't watch TNA. So this is like
I didn't watch TNA either, but I was a big fan of him on NXT.
And I didn't watch that either. So this is like the most wrestling I get. Like we've said, hardcore fan, kind of more the casual fan, but the worker as well. And as a worker, Bobby Roode entertains me, and I love it.
Well,
I'm so tempted to drink to this, though.
And it was for the third time in a row, but I am going to drink to this. And the reason I'm going to drink to this is because I think this was the best match they've had yet. Mm-hmm. It told a good story. It told a good story.
He tried to jam his throat against the turnbuckle.
Yep. Man. But the thing is, because I don't feel like we've really gotten to see Elias wrestle as much as we have now lately. Yeah. He's got some talent.
He does, yep.
And I just think, all the guys that come out of NXT, I always feel have a little bit more talent than some people that hadn't. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like they've really had a chance to hone their craft in NXT. Yep. And so now you have two guys. Yeah, so that's what they have. They have two guys, former NXT guys. You have Elias and you have Bobby Roode. And I don't know. So you have two good workers in the ring. It was a good match. It was entertaining to watch. I still think that Bobby Roode's got to turn heel some point soon. I think it'll totally boost him.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I think what's going to happen, even if he does go heel, people are going to cheer him after a while.
He's going to be a Stone Cold. He's going to be a heel that people love. So
do I drink to this or not, Paul?
I'm drinking to it because I know that this is going somewhere. I feel deep down in my soul, don't disappoint me, WWE, that this is going somewhere and it is going to turn into something, even if it's a double turn.
What do you guys want me to do? You want me to drink or you want me to keep her down? Drink?
Drink.
I'm drinking then. I'm drinking to the work and not that cheesy interview we had afterwards.
Out next, Rollins, and I'm already going to tell you ahead of time, I'm drinking to this. Rollins, I don't think can do any wrong right now.
No.
He's carrying freaking fire.
He's carrying Raw, and it says Monday Night Rollins on his shirt. Well, it is.
Yeah, it really is.
And he's not even he's not even the Universal Champion or the top champion. To us, I think the Intercontinental Championship is the top one there as far as we're concerned. I've seen stats over the last couple days on Facebook about Brock, how many he's wrestled compared to. I saw one today, CM Punk, and it shows 400 and 140 matches or something, or title defenses to 4 or something like that.
It's bad. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoy and give me grief for this if you want to. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear what you have to think about this.
Yeah, we want you to.
I love Brock. I love Brock. It's just the way his contract is set up, so I understand why it's done that way. Does it mean I like it? No, but the matches he does do, I love him. I love watching Brock wrestle because he really is a beast.
Right, and you're always wondering, is this the guy that's going to take it away? And that's what they're doing. But I also read something on the dirt sheets, and I did actually do some dirt sheet reading, is that he might carry that WWE Championship out when he fights in UFC again. So, cross-branding here with UFC to get more viewers.
See, I think that was the plan all along.
Oh, I think so, too.
They've made this little butting heads with you. It's a work.
Oh, it's absolutely a work.
Just like John and Nikki.
Because then we, as WWE fans, go watch UFC. UFC fans watch WWE because they're interested to see, hey, Brock Lesnar, he's doing both. That's interesting TV to watch. Yep, and you know what? It only draws in more millions of fans if Brock comes out with the championship from WWE. And then if he wins, he gets a title shot. I believe I read he'll get a UFC heavyweight title shot if he wins this next match in a pretty unanimous defeat. So, all right. Yeah, that's what I read. Whether it's true or not, I don't know.
We shall see.
We shall see.
But anyway, Rollins comes out and he's kind of turning it into the new U.S. Championship where he's doing the Open Challenge, which I love it when they do the Open Challenge. Yep. Because you never know who's going to come out. Yeah. You literally never know who is going to come out. It could be anybody, and in this case, it really was anybody. Out comes Mojo Rawley, of all people, which I've always kind of liked Mojo Rawley. I wouldn't say that he would ever be one of my favorites, but I like his energy.
He's got good energy.
He's got great energy. I actually kind of like him as a heel. I didn't at first, but he's grown on me as a heel. So I'm actually was okay with this.
Yeah.
At first, I kind of cocked my head to the side when he first came out, and I'm like, Mojo Rawley. And then I was like, Mojo Rawley. Okay. All right, let's do this.
Should have had Gronk come out in his corner. It's off season.
Right? But anyway, cool. it was a good little match, actually. I was pretty impressed with it. Mojo didn't make him look weak. It wasn't a squash. Seth won, as he should have.
Yep.
At first, I was a little disappointed that Finn didn't come out, but later on, I'm okay with why he didn't come out. So we'll get there.
I'm going to drink this because
of
the fact that, like you said, Rollins right now can do no wrong. I really wish that they could get the old curb stomp down a little better. It's looking somewhat weak, depending on who takes it, probably. I mean, Randy Orton took it one of the best, you know. And so I really hope that people get that down. I know that they're trying to, you know, cut back on concussions or injuries or whatever it might be, but even so, it's all about lifting your head up at the same time as you feel it and then back down. So, but I'm drinking to that because
I am too.
It's great. You can't do any wrong right now.
All right, Finn selfie next. Love Finn. Love everything Finn does. Not going to drink to it. It was just a selfie video saying that he was going to win the upcoming triple threat match. Yep. I even wrote, if you notice, because after the Finn selfie, there was a commercial for Totally Bellas, and there was this whole scene of John and Nikki in their breakup already. So
When's that airing? When is it?
I don't know, but this is why from that footage, I looked at my wife, and my wife even said, she goes, "Is it fake?" And I'm like, "This is totally a work." I don't think that it's legit. Like I honestly think that this is to build Totally Bellas. I don't think they actually broke up. I really don't.
But they missed their wedding date. And my mom, she don't watch WWE at all, but she said it's in Us Weekly. So if it's in Us Weekly, that means it is the gospel truth, is what she told me, word for word. So she says that they're broken up. And she doesn't watch wrestling by any means, but she knows who John Cena is because I'm a huge fan.
I think it's
if it's a work, that's the greatest work they've probably done.
I think it is a work. I honestly think it's a work, but time will tell.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. All right, so the artists formerly known as the Miz Taraj, that's just what I'm going to call them now, come out. And Curtis Axel's old music, which actually kind of made me happy because there's shades of Mr. Perfect's old theme song, Rest in Peace. You're my favorite wrestler of all time. Loved it. Mr. Perfect, heck yeah. One of my favorites of all time. In my top two. Actually, honestly, my top two. It kind of goes back and forth between him and from the 90s era, which is what I grew up on, him and Bret Hart.
Okay, and you know what I always loved was those cheesy videos of him doing perfect things of sports.
Yes, so
like
good.
Watching him do everything was so stiff.
The perfect golf shot.
Yeah, and the perfect... everything he did was stiff and did not look athletic one bit, but he made every shot. I wonder how many shots they took of film just to do that.
He made it look good. He made it look good.
All right, let's move on, Paul.
Moving on. So they faced Bray Wyatt and Matt. Obviously, I
was really hoping for an upset here.
I wasn't. I know you're still thinking that it's too gimmicky, but I love what they're doing with Bray and Matt right now, and I know that eventually it's going to cave in on itself, and it's just a matter of time. But I like it right now, and their new finisher that they debuted looked way better than what they were doing before, because they were doing that like assisted twist of fate, which looked more clunky.
That was terrible.
It looked more clunky than anything else. But the double Sister Abigail, I actually thought looked kind of badass. So, because I mean, with two people behind it slamming him down, I was like, ooh, that could have gone badly. But anyway, I'm drinking to it because I love this tag team. I know you're probably not going to because you...
Had there been an upset and Miz Taraj, or the formerly known as Miz Taraj,
get it right,
would have won, I would have been drinking. So drink by yourself, buddy.
I will totally drink by myself to this. Selfies, Natty, Baron, building towards the Money in the Bank ladder matches. Fine, not a bad thing, but not drinking. But then the triple threat.
Yep.
And this is a good match. I liked the dynamics of it. I liked that Sammy and Finn worked together to kind of get rid of Roman for a while.
Did you hear the pop that Sammy and Finn got when they started beating up Roman?
Oh my gosh, it was perfect. and I love that there was like that moment that they kind of looked at each other and like made the decision in their eyes that, okay, we're going to team up and take out Roman right now.
I really wish they would let Roman just kind of be a dick and just see how it plays out. Because
let him be a heel.
Just let him be a heel or do whatever he wants, and then probably in the long run, people will become around to liking him.
I think it'd be huge if they turned him heel.
I think so too. I think people love it.
But the one spot I will say in this match that was so good was the outside of the ring haluva kick followed by the coup de grace off the railing. I thought that was a really cool spot for the two guys, and then of course they bring it back into the ring. And it was funny because you could hear the crowd start booing when Roman was finally making his way back to the ring, so it kind of killed the surprise that he was coming back, you know, because you could hear everyone booing, and it was like, and I even said, "Oh, Roman must be." Oh, yep, there he is.
Well, you know, the other thing that I'm actually kind of getting behind, and I'm not a huge Sami Zayn fan because to me his gimmick is kind of like
Zayn.
Blah, but his entrance is kind of growing on me. It's like he's just kind of out there. It's like he's just carefree. It's almost like they gave him a little bit of freedom, and now he can just come out and do it however he wants. Because he's kind of good at being a dick, and that's essentially what his gimmick really is. He's kind of coming out, I don't care, kind of happy-go-lucky dick, and I like it, and it's fun. To me, his gimmick is kind of like, nah, maybe it's just a matter of time. Maybe this is what it was, but when he was just a face, it was like, kind of lackluster.
He was fun, but he was kind of like the everyman as a wrestler. So I'm glad that they added an edge to it. Because I even turned to my wife and I said during his entrance, I'm like, his character really didn't change from face to heel, except that he's more confident.
Yeah.
That's really all they added to him is that he's kind of cocky now.
Yep.
So instead of just being this happy-go-lucky face, now he's a happy-go-lucky heel who's cocky. Yep. And I think it works for him. I thought it was a good switch. I actually think I liked Sammy before. I actually like him more now as a heel. So I think that was a good switch.
And I was happy with the outcome. Finn.
Oh God, so happy.
Awesome. I really like Finn. So I'm definitely drinking to this because it was awesome. It was a good way to finish the show off.
It was too, except the only, and I'm going to drink this no matter what. But the one thing that almost made me want to throw up is that they're obviously now going to have Jinder Roman feud, which.
You're gonna have.
But I get why they're doing it. What they're thinking, and I know exactly what WWE is thinking. I know exactly what Vince is thinking. He's thinking, everyone hates Jinder with a passion. So maybe if I put him in a feud with Roman, maybe people will like Roman. No.
Just let him be a dick.
No.
Just let him
you know
be
what's
going to
happen? If they have matches together, everyone's going to get booed and no one's going to care. I'm sorry, that's what you're going to get, Vince. Just telling you, mark my words. Everyone is going to boo both of them coming out, and it's you both suck. That's the chant you're going to get the entire time.
I don't think Jinder really sucks, but
I don't think he sucks either, but people hate. Well, and here's the other thing, and I'm going off on a tangent. People don't like Roman legitimately. People don't like Jinder's heel persona.
Yeah.
That's the difference. People just really don't like Roman at all. But at least Jinder, it's because they are not supposed to like him. He's a heel. Yeah. So that's the difference to me is...
Gosh, the crowd would love it if Roman was a dick. That's the thing. They would love that. If he could just do it.
Take notes.
Just do it.
Because we're logical here on WrestleLogic.
And that's a drink.
Oh, yes. All right, so Raw coming out with 6, the lowest Raw has ever gotten.
So let's lay the SmackDown.
Let us, yes. And remember, SmackDown an hour shorter, so it gets how many?
3.
3 free points, which I don't know if it needed it this week.
I don't think so.
I don't think it needed it this week. I'm willing to place money on the fact that SmackDown's already come on top.
I think this is going to be a squash match.
It might be a squash match this week. Right. So Paige comes out once again because we can't start with a wrestling match. We have to start with the GM coming out. But I was a little wary about Paige. I mean, I like that they were still keeping her around. I was a little wary on how she would hold her own in the GM position, but I think she's doing a good job. The only bit I did not like in this whole speech she gave, because once again, they're building Money in the Bank, so she was making it exciting. Yep. But she had, and I know this was scripted, and I know that Vince probably wanted her to say this, but she said that Backlash was a smash hit. And the boos it just made me laugh. I'm just like, oh, Vince, nice try there, bud, but whatever.
You know,
and you could see the look on her. When she was saying that, she was like,
it was a shit.
I mean, you could tell she did not want to say that. But
I wish they would just loosen up the reins a little bit like they didn't. I know you can't sit there and swear as much on TV and all that kind of stuff. They should just loosen up and let these guys and girls, they should just let them speak freely, because guess what? That worked back then.
Jeff Hardy and Miz, great match. Once again, 2 great people in the ring. And I hate to take from other YouTubers, but I'll give a shout out and a nod to Jack the Jobber from Cultaholic. He said it best. Typically, Jeff Hardy does not have long matches. But this was a 20-minute match, and Jeff proved that.
I never noticed that.
And he made the note, and when I started thinking about it, he's like, yeah, he's right. Most of his matches are pretty short. And he said it perfectly. He said Jeff is showing that he can still throw down.
Oh, absolutely.
But one side note, I think we found the two people in WWE who somehow found the Fountain of Youth, because I don't think Jeff and The Miz have aged a day since they debuted. Like, they both still look like they're in their like late 20s, early 30s. But anyway.
Right. And this is awesome.
I loved this match. Miz is still proving why he's where he's at. And he
keeps growing. And I've liked him, but he keeps growing on me to like, this guy is main event level. Yep. And then the ending of the match caught me by surprise. I loved it. This is great.
I actually stood up. Like, I was like, holy crap, what just happened? Like, it was well done. It kind of saved face a little bit for Jeff Hardy. It didn't make him look weak, which they would definitely not want to do with one of their champions. But yeah, hats off to Miz, hats off to Jeff Hardy. Great match. I'm drinking, and I'm excited to see what Miz is going to do in Money in the Bank.
Yeah, and it caught me by surprise like it did Paul, but I mean, I have never seen the match of Jeff Hardy's end like that, because you got to land that spot, and it's not easy to land. Okay, first of all, when he's doing the swanton, to land like he did, he basically had to go middle of his back, where it's not the back of his head hitting him, so that could knock the wind out of Miz, and it may have, I don't know. I mean, he's selling pretty good afterwards, but then he's got to roll him up right away after that, which means that Jeff has to grab his leg like he did, because he grabbed the back. I rewatched it a couple times just because I was like, oh, that was cool. And it caught me by surprise, but he had to grab the back of his legs so that way the Miz could then pin him backwards. 1, 2, 3. He did it, and I was really expecting Miz to go over dirty, but they let him go over clean, which shows that, hey, Miz is going to move on, and he is worthy of where he's at, and Jeff has the U.S. title. It was a great match. I'm drinking to it.
Pints up.
No problem there.
I know you're going to, and of course, they don't need it this week. As much as I don't like drinking to backstage stuff, I loved this next bit.
Okay.
With the bar backstage.
Oh, that was funny.
And talking, I mean, they were having the whole argument about, I lost, and he was eating the Lucky Charms. I started laughing so hard. And that's why I'm going to drink to this anyway, because if you can make me laugh that hard in a backstage segment, I can't not drink to it. And I, once again, got to give due. I'm a smiley, easy to entertain guy. Simon Miller. You too. So if you don't know who any of these guys are because you're not watching them.
Sorry.
Another great YouTuber. Simon Miller, you're the best. Anyway.
Good job, Simon.
But he's awesome, and he always makes me smile. And he says it too. He goes, if it makes me smile, he gives it an up. But in this case, I'm putting my pint up for it because, and then the whole bit at the end with the pancakes.
You know what I really like? I like the bar's new shirt.
I do too. The bar is always open, and Speed Shop is always open. So once again, I don't usually drink to the backstage segments. Can't help it on this one. It was too funny. I'm drinking.
I'm gonna let you drink because I'm gonna keep true to my not drinking to the backstage much.
If I burst out laughing more than once at a backstage segment, it's worth a drink.
Way to go. There's Cesaro and Sheamus and the pancakes.
Selfies again, getting people jacked up for Money in the Bank. We had, the Carmella's was just rubbing in the fact that she beat Charlotte. But then Ty and Naomi's was about Money in the Bank. Okay. Once again, I'm not going to drink to those. It keeps stories going. Ty Dillinger, you keep dreaming, buddy. Up next, Charlotte and Peyton Royce. Until we get to the end of talking about this, I still don't know if I'm going to drink to this one yet. I'm a little shaken up on this one because as much as the heel work, once again, so good, the Iconics are, I'm going to say it again, they're the mean girls of WWE. They're very good at what they do. I love Charlotte. The match was a little messy, though.
Yeah, and the best part I liked about it is how she bridged up in the end of it to have her tap out, and then her tapping out. That was her tapping out.
Yeah,
it played it, sold it, but I'm not going to drink to it just because like you said, it was a little sloppy. And a performer standpoint, not that I mean, I usually drink to Charlotte.
Yeah, and I'm happy with the outcome. I think Charlotte should be in the Money in the Bank match, now you've got Charlotte, you've got Ember Moon. That's already going to be strong. You got a great foundation there. But for two reasons, I'm not going to drink to this. One, like I said, the match was a little messy from two really good workers. So I don't know what was going on there. But
Yeah, everyone has an off day.
That is true. But for them both to have an off day in the same match,
Well,
that seems a little, but if one looks bad, it's kind of hard to.
With wrestling, you have to work together. It's a team effort.
True.
It's
That's
like
true.
dancing together. If one person's stumbling over their feet, no matter how good the other person's doing, you're still going to look like you're stumbling all over.
See, that's why I have him here.
That's why I'm here.
He helps me see that stuff that I might miss. But the other reason I'm not drinking this is, what do the Iconics do now? I mean, they're brand new on the scene, and they just kind of had any wind they had taken out of their sails, and it was a clean.
It was a clean victory.
It was a clean victory.
Yep.
So it's like I really like the Iconics, but now I'm just like, what now? Like what? So I can't drink to this.
Nope.
I liked it, like I said, for the outcome, but I just didn't like the overall. More selfies. Shelton and Asuka. Whatever. Once again, building the Money in the Bank. Asuka's I actually found rather entertaining because she still kind of keeps that I can't speak English very well, and it was kind of, I'm not going to drink to that. But up next, Cesaro and Xavier. Good match, actually. I love watching Cesaro wrestle. He's so good, and he's so underutilized. But it's tough for me because he would be monumental as a solo wrestler on his own, but I love the bar. So it's like it's hard for me because I love Sheamus and Cesaro together, but I would love Cesaro on his own. But the finish was a lot of fun because Xavier going for that like out on the top rope thing that he does. And then Cesaro just jumps up and the big uppercut.
I love his uppercuts. I'm with you.
So good.
I'm with you. I'm a fan of Cesaro on his own, but I'm actually more of a fan of Cesaro on his own than I am with him with the bar. I mean, it's a cool dynamic, but I really like Cesaro by himself. But the finish was awesome. The uppercut. It just, it always looks like he jacks him in the jaw. And maybe he does, I don't know, but there's no teeth missing.
Very stiff. Like, it looks stiff every time. And I'm sure they're taking it fine, but God, every time I get a headache just watching.
All it is, though. That's what wrestling is all about, is making that look realistic and looking like it was the most painful thing you've ever seen. So I'm going to drink this because it was great. AJ
backstage, not going to drink to it, just not because it's bad, but it just didn't make me laugh.
It was cheesy.
It was cheesy, but
this is the house that AJ.
That's his shtick.
Bill.
That's his shtick.
I know, but it's cheesy.
But that bruise.
I saw that.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
That chair that whacked
that was kind of messed up because obviously that was not on purpose. But I don't know. I love AJ. I love what they're doing with AJ. I just as much as I don't want to see AJ lose the strap, if this is going to continue, I think he has to lose it to Shinsuke at some point. At some point, and he can win it back. Yeah. But I think that very soon it needs to move over to Shinsuke, just because otherwise it's going to get stale. I'm still okay with it now. I think the 2 no contests was kind of a letdown, but I see why they did it because I think they want to stretch this out a little longer.
I'm actually just not a fan of their matches. I mean, I'm kind of getting sick of the low blows. I mean, I know that's what the story. It's a story, and that's what he's trying.
At least AJ finally hit him back. All right, up next, Becky versus Mandy Rose. It was okay.
Caught me by surprise. I wasn't expecting Becky Lynch to lose.
I didn't want Becky to lose.
I know.
Becky's my girlfriend.
Yeah, but the other girl.
Woo. Nah, I'd still take Becky over Mandy. Although I will say, and I even put on here.
Do we have an option? Are we taking these girls? Are they coming here? Or what's going on?
I don't know. But I put on here, where did I write it on here? Mandy's intro, kind of porno-ish. Like, it had, like, all the, like, weird, like, filters, and she was coming out all, like, sultry, and I was just like...
Make sure you put a picture of that on there for our viewers.
Oh, I'm sure I will. It's probably up there right now. But you know what? She's not bad in the ring, but see, the thing, though, is Becky is so good in the ring. It didn't... here's the way I would have booked it differently. I would have let Sonya Deville be at ringside and caused a shenanigan finish.
Okay.
To me, that would have been because I just feel like they're burying Becky right now. And if she had lost with shenanigans, it wouldn't have looked so bad. But the fact that she basically lost clean, they're just burying her right now, and I don't like that. She's too good to bury.
I was thinking the same thing you're thinking. It's like, what happened to Becky Lynch? Remember, she was like in the title run, and she was the inaugural SmackDown Women's Champion. Now it's like they're just we're going back down this way.
Yeah, like I said, I would have preferred a Sonya Deville distraction finish on this to still make Becky look okay, but whatever. And the other thing is what was this match? Was it a Money in the Bank match? I don't think it was, but
I don't recall hearing anything about that.
I don't think so either, but I feel like it was, but they like forgot to tell us. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. But I'm not drinking to it.
If not, there's a cute girl that's going to be in it.
That's true. That's true. But I just can't drink to this. So I can't drink to this.
Nope, I'm not going to either.
Next one, though, definitely drinking to.
I'm drinking to it as well because I was caught off guard.
This was so caught off guard. I was not Well, what is the match? Obviously, it's Rusev versus Daniel Bryan. It was one of those matches where part of me said, I don't care who wins. They're both great. And I even said, you know what? If Daniel Bryan beats Rusev, that's nothing to feel bad about. Like that's not a bad person to lose to and think, oh, you just got buried. No, it's kind of honorable to lose to someone like Daniel Bryan, in my personal opinion.
And I think Daniel Bryan, now that he lost, I still think they're going to find a way to work him into the Money in the Bank ladder match.
I think so too, or
How can
something.
You not have him in there, though?
Or something. I feel like there is still going to be something with Daniel Bryan at the pay-per-view itself. Even if he's not in the Money in the Bank match, there's still going to be something.
Right, if he is in the Money in the Bank match, it's a hell of a match to go into with your previous injury.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But I'm not going to lie, I had a moment where I just sat there kind of stunned that Rusev won. But once I got over the initial shock, I was actually very excited because I really like Rusev. I think that he's been kind of stuck in WWE purgatory because I feel like they're like, oh my God, he's so over right now, but what do we do with him? Like they literally just didn't know what to do because he did it himself. Right. He organically got over, and I feel like when that happens, it throws a wrench into creative because I mean, most of the time, and most of the time, WWE creative has planned out for quite a while.
Right. Look at what Roman Reigns. That's working out for him.
So I'm sure when that finally happened, and I know a lot of people are giving WWE grief, saying like, just push him. It's not that easy. Like if they had like tons of storylines already kind of set in place, it's kind of hard to just like, whoa there, slugger, and
it's
change.
Like you took your notes ahead of time, a year in advance, and all of a sudden you go back and erase this out of there, but then that changes something else down here.
It takes time because to just all of a sudden like, ho, it would almost feel awkward. So I think this could be the start of it, though. I mean, obviously, we don't know who all is going to be in the Money in the Bank yet. Right. But I could see this as the big opportunity for Rusev.
I think Shelton Benjamin will eventually find his way in there.
I think he will, too.
Because he was in it before, and it was one heck of a match.
But I could see Rusev coming out on top. I could see him getting the briefcase.
I think so, too. And you know what else I'm kind of interested in? I saw one of the WWE exclusive interviews is Lana and Rusev and Aiden English. Are they all going to coexist together? Because we saw the previous week that it seemed like Lana was like, hey, you're here to Aiden English. And now I saw this little interview, and they looked like they were kind of coexisting. She had his hand on him and then a hand on Rusev. I don't know if they're going to coexist.
Well, yeah, and then...
Or she's going to turn her back on Aiden English.
I don't know. And then she wasn't at Backlash when they came out. Right. She wasn't on SmackDown. Right. So it's like, I don't know if they, like, decided to not do that, or if they're just putting it on pause until Money in the Bank gets over with, or maybe it'll culminate at Money in the Bank and something will happen.
I have a feeling that
either which way
happen at Money in the Bank.
Any which way, I'm drinking. We're drinking.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so I'm pretty sure we've got our math right this week.
Are you sure? Are you a math teacher?
I'm never going to be sure, but...
After so much Island City Brew, we have no idea what's up and what's down.
We know SmackDown won.
We know that.
We were pretty darn sure that they won only by a half drink, though.
They needed those 3 points then.
Yeah, they did need the 3 points, but not because of it being a bad show, but it was just very wrestle heavy. Right. There wasn't a whole lot to drink to, but it was definitely, to me, the superior show.
Now, Paul, what was your moment of the week here?
My moment of the week, see, this one's a toss-up for me because... to me, there were three really big moments over the course of the week in wrestling, if you will. I loved the main event of Raw, the triple threat. Yep. I loved The Miz versus Jeff Hardy, and I loved Daniel Bryan versus Rusev. And as much as I loved all of those matches, I have got to say my moment of the week was the bar backstage.
And my moment of the week was the upset, somewhat to me upset finish with Miz going over on Jeff Hardy with that very cool pin, just because I know how tough that is to correlate, because Jeff Hardy almost had to land, like I said earlier, flat back right on the stomach of Miz, which could knock the wind out of you. So if you have the wind knocked out of you trying to wrestle, not fun. I've had it done on a football field before, and I thought I was dying. So if you have to do that and then pin the guy to end the match, that's tough. So that's my moment of the week, is the Miz pinning Jeff Hardy after the Swanton.
Well, he jumped in. I was actually joking that was my moment of the week.
Geez.
But you cut me off. So
I cut him off.
actually, I was like very close to going with the triple threat on Raw, but the whole gender shenanigans actually cut that for me, because I'm a little worried about what's going to happen there. But mine, Rusev winning. Yep. I'm really excited to see Rusev in Money in the Bank. I love Daniel Bryan, but I really feel that Rusev needed that. So SmackDown coming out on top. We believe 6.5 drinks to 6. And we might have some text right here going, these guys are terrible at math and giving you what the actual score is, but maybe we got it right this week. But that being said, Pints up to SmackDown again, 3 weeks in a row. But once again, I'm Paul. Chris, the real deal, Mr. Sex Appeal Steele. I'd really rather not, because but actually, just so you're aware, this guy, you can book this guy.
You can book me. Hit me up at email, chrisjacobson18@yahoo.com. You can get a hold of me on Facebook. There's Chris Steele. I got a page. I got a Facebook. You can also hit me up on Instagram at ChrisSteele25.
Awesome. So get him at your next event if you're watching and thinking, hey.
You won't regret it.
Yeah, I could use the real deal at my show, because you could.
You could use some sex appeal, too.
Absolutely. But once again, you're watching WrestleLogic. Pints up or down. We'll be back again next week with another one, picking apart Raw and SmackDown yet again. But make sure you share the video. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you tell your friends about the video. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube page. Like us on Facebook. Twitter, Instagram, it's all there. But we'll see you again next week, where we're going to get logical about our wrestling.